Hey, 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 you're not getting exercise in the morning, Daphne. I'm a little bit more put together than normal, but I am uber excited. Thank you guys for rolling with the punches today. Today is a big day for so many reasons for me. And when I planned this 3-day challenge, I didn't take all of that into consideration. So I apologize for the change in schedule. And due to that, I am going to let you guys know right now that I am going to drop a little tidbit in the chat tomorrow, just because I think it's so important. I feel like affirmations are such an important part of my morning rituals that I want to leave this off on a morning note. And not that it downplays any of the importance of the stuff that I'm going to share with you today here this afternoon, but I wanted to make sure that I gave you like a little tidbit just to head off in the morning. So you'll be hearing from me again tomorrow morning. So 3 days turned into 4. Hope no one minds. I have some really great things. I've been loving your I am statements, your affirmations that you're developing. I'm going to touch on that in a second, but I am also very much enjoying your gratitude statements. I hope that you'll continue on doing gratitude statements because, like I said on day one, when you're in the spirit of gratitude, it is physically and emotionally and mentally impossible for you to be in a negative state. All right. So in those moments where you find yourself sneaking into a negative spot, that's a moment for you to stop and be grateful for something that you already have, something that's flowing to you, something, all the things, right? It's just an opportunity for you to shapeshift that into what you want it to be. Okay. Don't let 1, 10, 30 minutes of negativity or bad feelings ruin your entire day, your entire week, your month, and so on and so forth. I could get on a soapbox about that for real, like lived through that. Okay, so let's talk about today. I have had a couple of you reach out to me via personal messenger. Yep, not messenger. Outside of the group chat, which is totally awesome. I'm looking forward to continuing these conversations with you guys after the challenge is over. And some of you, I want to touch back on your I am statements, your affirmations that you're developing. Some of you are playing a little bit small, and I know that maybe will sting. And if it stings at all for you, or you feel that at all, then I'm talking to you, because it's easy for us to pick the things that sound like we should say. Let me say that again. It's easy for us to pick the things that we feel like we should say, but a lot of us have things in our heart and in our soul that we should really dig into, and I'm going to talk about that today. So here I am to challenge you, and this can be very uncomfortable. Okay, uncomfortable is not a bad thing, and I am the queen of avoiding uncomfortable situations. There are many of you that know me very well personally, and when I become uncomfortable, my emotions show, and I am not comfortable showing my emotions. I've had to get comfortable with it because it's not going anywhere, but they just sneak out of me when I'm doing something. But guys, how cliche is it? But when we get uncomfortable, we do what? We grow. And I think it's important for everybody to be pushing themselves a little bit harder. Like step outside that zone, step outside what you already know and love, and get into what you deserve, really. And so that leads me directly into what I want to talk about today. What I want to talk about today is hopefully going to help you unearth a much deeper affirmation. So morning was crazy. I took a later shower than normal today. And I actually did my mantras today. Did anybody else do shower mantras? I actually did my mantras today, and new things were coming out of me that I hadn't thought about or spoke out loud about in a very long time. And I think it's very important for you to speak things out loud when there's something that you know, want, love, need, desire, all the words. But I also think it's important for you guys to be inking it. So I'm going to talk about 2 things with that. Okay. All right. So let's talk about building this affirmation with something big. If there is something that you have ever thought about, something you've wanted, something that was a goal for you, if it's been planted in your head and in your heart ever, okay, so that could be, it could be wild, right? I'm going to own my own personal jet. People have like these weird goals and dreams and things. And I say weird only because they're not the norm for the average person walking down the street, right? So they're a little bit, they might sound far-fetched if you sat down at Applebee's with the random sitting around and you had a conversation about the things that you want in your life, and they're all looking at you like they're just happy checking in at their job every day, right? They're just happy being able to go to the grocery store on Saturday morning, whatever it is, guys, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like you're here for affirmations. You are above the norm. Okay. So I want you, if there is a goal that's been planted on your heart, if there's, I've been trying to steer away a little bit from the network marketing stuff, but I know that everybody here is there's a few companies here, but I know everybody has, we kind of all have that in common in this group specifically. And so if there's a rank, right? We all have those ranks that we want to achieve, whether the very top one or it's the next one above you or whatever that looks like. But if it's been planted on your heart that you know that that's something you want, then you can do it. Okay. It is achievable. It would have never, ever popped into your head. You would have never thought of it. It would have never been planted in your heart and soul if it wasn't something that was meant for you that you could have. Okay. Are you willing to put in the work? Sure. Like, you can't just walk around saying that you are something and not be willing to put in a little bit of effort, right? There's effort that goes behind it. But the more that you talk as if and walk as if, the sooner it will happen. And I kind of alluded to that the other day when I said I was doing those mantras. And when I got in that mindset and I was walking around talking about how it was already X, Y, and Z, all of a sudden I started doing the things that X, Y, and Z would do. And sure enough, it happened very quickly for me. Okay. And now we all have our own timeline, but if it took you 5 years to get to whatever your goal was, it's better than if you did nothing and you never got there. Can I get an amen? I'm not on live video. Usually on live video, I'm like, drop all your amens. Okay. So I want you to dig a little deeper and I want you to find that thing. And maybe there's multiple things, and that's okay. I love hearing all the things. I mentioned the jet. That was not my thing, and it's still not my thing, honestly. I have a thing I will own a condo house, whatever, on the beach in Mexico. I will. That's something that I talk about it. My friends locally here that don't have the same kind of mindset values I do are like, yeah, right. But all the time I'm talking about it. Guess what? Watch. It will happen, right? I have other goals of mine that I know that I will make happen just because I know. And you have those too. And you need to get into the mindset that you know. Okay. All right. Let me step off the soapbox real quick because I feel like I'm talking in circles about that, but I feel like you needed to hear that. I feel like that is super important because you all have it in you. So I want you to think today, your homework, and this, guys, remember, this is safe. I should have said that. I didn't make the announcement that like this is safe. None of the pictures y'all are dropping in this chat will go anywhere but this chat. None of the things that you've said, unless I specifically ask you permission, will ever leave this chat. Like, this is a safe spot. But I want you to tell us to drop into the chat. Obviously, you've been dropping today your gratitudes and your current affirmations, but I want you to drop your dream affirmation into. Nope, I don't want you to do it as a gratitude. Actually, maybe I do. I'm so happy and grateful that I have done blah, or I have this, or right? And guys, I don't want this to be a one-day affirmation. I want to help you form that thing that you're telling yourself every single day from here on out. I want you to know it. I want you to believe it. And then Gina actually said in here in the chat yesterday how she's putting it on her mirror. That actually is part of what I wanted to say today is wherever you look the most, or actually maybe the two places. So I have had people put on there like it's post-it note. If you don't have post-it notes, actually I just went to Five Below today. That's where my daughter works, and I got new orange post-it notes. If you didn't know, orange is my thing. I got new orange post-it notes, and I'm gonna put up my own new affirmations. I'm following right along with this, you all. I was gonna drop all my stuff in the chat, and I probably should have, and I guess I could go back and still do that. But I'm going to put orange post-it notes, and let me tell you, my spots and your spots may be different. I'm going to put one on the dash of my car. Now, for those that know me, you're gonna be like, Dabney, that's gonna do nothing. You never leave your house. Yes, yes, I do. I'm actually, with my mental health and the things that I know that I have to make myself leave my house more frequently just to get out of the house. It's good for me mentally to like just take a break. So I'm trying to do that even once a day. And so I'm putting on the dash of my car. I'm putting one on my vanity mirror. I'm putting one on my bathroom mirror. I'm going to put one on the refrigerator because I am the only cook in the house. My husband watches television a lot in the evening. I don't necessarily watch television, but I like to be in the room when he's home. So I'm going to put one on the corner of the TV, not in his viewpoint, because that might ruin the news or something. But I'm going to put these Post-it notes in places where I am frequently, and I'm going to see them. Okay. And so I had a leader a long time ago that used to say, ink it, don't think it. So if there is something that comes into your head, that's why, you know, you hear people talk about the importance of journaling. That's a whole nother part, and a whole nother series I could do is journaling. But when something comes to your head, write it down, you guys. Like these goals, they come to fruition a lot faster when you are being really intentional about them. So dig up that big fat goal, dig up that big fat thing, and affirm it in your life. Affirm it and claim it as yours, right? And you can do I'm so happy and grateful, or you can do I am. I've been doing my mantras as I am, and mine are related to business right now. That's the kind of getting myself back into business mindset. And I am, and I'm just stating the things that I am, as if I already achieved them. And then tomorrow, when you get up, actually, maybe I should just share this tomorrow. Well, I actually know I mentioned talking as if and walking as if. Tomorrow, when you get up and you get ready, whether you watch my video tomorrow before or after, I want you to put a little effort into getting yourself ready. Now, I know some of you have small children. I know some of you don't have a lot of time, but when you go to pick out the clothes tomorrow, whatever your goal is, like if your goal doesn't mean being in workout leggings and a tank top all day, right? Like if your goal is to be the top ranked level of whatever, and I just keep going back to that because it's easy for me. They don't show up every day and just sit around in workout wear, right? So I want you to show up as if. I want you to, and I want you to do what time is. I actually, you guys know, I want you to take the 5 minutes and I want you to do a little extra. All right. I want you to brush your hair. I want you to brush your teeth. I want you to wash your face. I want you to maybe put on a little makeup if that's your thing. It's not really my thing. So that's okay. But I try to at least blow dry my hair every day so that I look a little bit presentable. So I want you to do that. I want you to show up. I want you to get ready as early as you can in the day. Okay. And I want you to remind yourself all day long that you are this thing. You are these things. Okay. Okay. The last thing, and I know this is a little bit long, but I've had all day to think about this. The last thing I want to touch on with you guys, after you have shared your affirmation into the chat or shared your things, you can even drop us some pictures of your Post-it notes. I can do that. The last thing is, a lot of you are carrying around a lot of things that you think you're not. And, or maybe things that you think other people think of you. I struggled with this for a very long time. And I know I don't present myself as that, but I struggled with creating these scenarios in my head that other people were thinking of me, or, I mean, whether it was friends, family, uplines, downlines, sidelines. I mean, sometimes I still have to shake myself and be like, dude, you're creating that. Like nobody said nothing. You need to just be you. Okay. So this is me giving you permission today to release all of that. All right. You are in control of you. You have the opportunity to create whoever you want to be at your most authentic, best self, and stop allowing your brain to run away with creating these scenarios that aren't really there, or these things that you think that you're not. Okay. So this is my permission to you to release all of those today. So I would love for you to comment once you've done that, and it might take a few minutes. And man, for me, when I was like, okay, I gotta let this go, it was almost like a therapy session with myself. And I mean, it involved tears. It's still like I could get a little emotional now talking about it. It can feel kind of icky. And if this takes you It might even take you till tomorrow. It could take you some time, but I want you to take some time and think about the things that are weighing on you, that are sitting on their shoulders, that are like, I could never be that because I'm this. I could never, like, I would love to be top rank, but I don't have this X, Y, and Z. When if it's laid on your heart that you want to be the top rank, by gosh, you can do it. You can do it. Okay. I'm sorry, I keep reverting to ranks or network marketing, but it's, I guess, where my brain is right now. And I think everyone here can kind of relate to that in whatever your scenario is. So let's release those. And then I would love for you to just drop into the chat so that we can all cheer you on. Just the simple statement along the lines of, I have released everything that is no longer serving me. Okay. You don't have to tell us what it is. You don't have to dredge that up. I feel like we don't need to speak life into what those things are. So we don't need specifics, but I would love to know when you have spent the time. It might take you 5 minutes. Like you might be like, I know this, and this that I think about on a daily basis. I need to get rid of them. I release them, and you drop it in there. So I don't want anybody to think there's like a time frame, right? Like you have to wait an hour before you can tell us you released it. If it takes you 5 minutes, if it takes you 5 hours, if it takes you 24 hours, I would love for you to share when you have released all the things that are no longer serving you. Okay, so this is a little deeper than just a plain old affirmation challenge, but these things were heavy on my heart. I don't know if my next affirmation challenge will get quite this deep, but I felt like sharing this with you guys. I hope you found some value. I hope that you will still tune in for a little bit tomorrow. Not a lot of it, just a little bit, just to make sure we kick it off. I guess we're not kicking it off, kind of wrap it up in the morning fashion, because that's what I prefer. And then that's it. I hope you guys have had a good day. I hope you have a great evening, and I will for sure talk to you soon. See ya.